Hey guys, welcome back to Muck Club, our weekend show where we review and eat fast food usually. And, usually I'm doing it from my van. And so when you see me, I'm in a completely different setting from what I am right now. Right now, I'm actually in my living room, and we are doing this instead of live. This is a recording, but you can feel free to comment in the comments down below, where normally you would reply in the chat. But today, what we're doing is, as you can see here, we've got a Walmart bag. We've got today's lunch from Walmart. And here it is. It's a rotisserie chicken, a whole rotisserie chicken. And the price that it costs, you're not going to believe this, $3.40 for a whole rotisserie chicken. And it's on sale. And you save $2.50. So the regular price was $3.40, I believe. Well, no, that's the price that you pay. So it doesn't have the original price on here, but you can just add that up. $3.40 plus $2.57. That would be $5.37 regular price. And in today's economy, $5.37 for an entire rotisserie chicken isn't really bad at all, considering that I've been paying $15 to $20 for a full meal from any fast food place here, including pizzas, your traditional fast food like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and then also. Just about every place that I've tried on here, we're into our 20 some episode of Mutt Club, and so over 20 different places we've checked, and they're all really expensive. So $5-6 for an entire chicken, that's a pretty good bargain. And when you can get it on sale like this for $3.40 for an entire rotisserie chicken, I'll hold it up so you can see what it's like. You can see it there in the. Okay, now this is actually cut in half, so what you're looking at here is only half of it. And then it's got this nice sealable Ziploc baggie that it comes in. So there, I seal it back up. And I'm leaving it in the bag just in case this bag leaks. It hasn't been leaking, but I've been known to have these bags leak a little bit and make a mess. So I'm leaving it in the Walmart bag until I finish using the whole thing. But what I did is I cut this in half with a common butcher knife, that you have laying around your kitchen. And so I've got half the chicken right here in a bowl, and the other half is still in there. There's no way I'm going to eat an entire rotisserie chicken in one setting. I mean, I probably could, but it wouldn't be healthy, and it might be good for clicks. You guys might enjoy that and come back and watch it over and over again, like you do some of these other, like we do some of these mukbangers that like eat huge amounts in one sitting. But I prefer not to do that. I try to do it a little bit more healthy than some of these others do. And even though it may not be the healthiest food possible to eat, all things in moderation. So anyway, today what I did is I went ahead and cut this in half. And I'm going to eat half of it today and save the other half for maybe tomorrow or the next day or whatever. In fact, I'm going to take a moment and refrigerate this right now. So I'm going to walk out of frame just for a few seconds. Put it back in the refrigerator. And we're all good. Now I'll show you my t-shirt of the day. Since I'm pre-recording this, it's not a Sunday, so I'm not wearing my shirt and tie. But today, as many of you know, I'm a Star Wars fan, so I'm wearing my Grogu t-shirt. Or when this was actually released, it was still unknown what his name was, and they just called him Baby Yoda. So if you're not familiar with Star Wars, The Mandalorian is a recent TV series that came out on Disney Plus that featured a character called the Mandalorian, which is a lot like Boba Fett in physical appearance because they're the same race. And there's a backstory behind that when you find out that neither one of them are really true Mandalorians. Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian. He was an outside, um, an outsider who was adopted into their society. And the Mandalorian has a similar backstory. He was as a child was adopted into their culture and ended up adopting them in return, adopting their culture. And so, as the last two surviving, well, three, I guess I misspoke there. They're not the last two or three surviving Mandalorians. There is a small culture left. But anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole backstory of the Mandalorians on here right now. We'll save that for another time. But anyway, it spawned the TV series The Mandalorian and also the Book of Boba Fett, which was kind of a two series that paralleled each other and happened at the same time. And this is one of the main characters on that is a little baby, or at least it looks like a baby. He's actually 50-some years old. But we called him Baby Yoda because we didn't know what his name was. Then they finally revealed his name was Grogu. So after they first introduced him, everybody fell in love with him, and I was one of the people that really enjoyed this series. It was something refreshingly good from Disney Plus, to where the previous stuff they had done with Disney was just really horrible, or they had done with Star Wars was really horrible. And after all the disappointment of the stuff that they were doing to mess up Star Wars, they were finally releasing something that was actually really good. And so I ordered this t-shirt because I did enjoy it. There's Baby Yoda, or Grogu, and then his reflection in the water is Adult Yoda. And you can see his reflection down there. But anyway, that's my t-shirt of the day. I don't wear it out a lot because it's a one of a kind. I mean, you can order more, but they are expensive to order. And so I don't wear it out that often because I don't like it getting dirty. I'm afraid if I wash it too much, it's either going to fade or shrink, or something else is going to happen to it. So I only wear it typically around the house, just in really brief moments, and outside on special occasions. But anyway, that's my little digression, and instead of necktie of the day, my t-shirt of the day, or of the week. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out this rotisserie chicken. Wow, look at that. See how easily that just ripped off? That white meat there. It's got a little chill on it. I warmed it up in the microwave, but it's been so long, I've been sitting here talking, it's cooled down a little bit. So I'm going to warm it up again. And typically what you want to do is when you bring that home, it's going to be cold, obviously. And so to warm it up, you want to put it in the microwave for maybe a couple minutes. And that takes the chill off of it and makes it warm, a little bit more than room temperature. And if you want it hotter, you can adjust your temperature settings depending on your microwave and how much wattage it has. But I heated mine up for just under 2 minutes. And in the time that I sat here, about 10-15 minutes getting set up and ready to eat, it kind of took the heat off of it, and the chill from the air kind of cooled it down. And so I'm popping it back in for another minute or so, just to kind of warm it back up a little bit for a minute. So I paused the video for just a few moments there. I put this back in the microwave and warmed it up for another almost 2 minutes. And now it's piping hot. I can just feel the heat just coming off of it. But boy, that meat just tears right off. Nice and tender and soft. Now this one's a little bit dry. I've been eating these this past week, or past couple weeks. I've been eating them like maybe once a week or so. And they're very tender and usually very juicy. This one's just a little bit dry. And I'll go ahead and show you how easily this tears off. See, this is a plastic fork. Watch how easily just tears right off the bone. Nice and tender. I've never seen any chicken this soft that it tears off that easily. Mm. It's got a good flavor to it. This one's a little bit less flavor than the other ones I've had. And again, they all come from Walmart. From the same Walmart, from the same deli section. This one's just a little bit different than the others. Man, just tender. All around. I'll go ahead and bone just ripped right off. Mm. You don't even have to bite into it. Just with your gums. Just barely touch it with your lips. The meat falls off. That bone is bare. Nothing left on it. Sometimes you get a chicken, the meat's a little bit tough, hard to chew, hard to cut into, and hard to get off the bone. Here, watch this. That bone just pulled right out. No teeth, just suck that meat right off that bone. Look how clean that bone is. Didn't have to use teeth at all. That is very, very soft and tender chicken. Let's go ahead and break this leg off. Okay, here's the leg. Look how big that is. Here, if you turn it this way, maybe you can see that it's, so you can see it's a leg there. And it's got part of the next piece on it too, from where it just ripped right off. That's how tender it is. Mm. I swear, this has got to be the most tender chicken I have ever had in my life. Mm. So, what I'm thinking is, we've been reviewing mostly fast food stuff. Because let's face it, why is fast food so popular? Because it's convenient. It's not really the cheapest that you can get. Sometimes it is. But a lot of times, if you want to take the time to put into it, you can go to your grocery store and buy these individual items and cook the meat and assemble the items, chop up the vegetables and the fruits and stuff. And you can duplicate many of these things you get yourself from the fast food. Like when I did the Dairy Queen review recently, I was talking about the hot fudge sundaes that you can get there, and how you can duplicate that easily just with a big tub of ice cream from your grocery store and a bottle of hot fudge sauce. You can duplicate that easily in your home for a fraction of the price. However, with inflation costs anymore, fast food has just really skyrocketed through the roof. And the convenience of being able to do it quickly, to just place your order and within a minute or two, have it in your hands, over doing it yourself at home using products that you buy at the store in bulk and getting it a lot cheaper. But there's a lot of time you have to put into that. Uh, but nowadays, the convenience of saving time and energy isn't worth the price, monetarily wise, by going to fast food. And so, this I have found is an option that you might consider as well. Going to some place like Walmart, the grocery store, or another grocery store, depending on where you live. I mean, I don't know if Kmart's still exist anymore. They pretty much went out of business. But you've got Sam's Club, which is like the bulk store for Walmart, owned by started by Sam Walton, of course. Um, then you've got like Costco on the West Coast. Um, then you've got Kroger, all sorts of different places. IGA. You can go anywhere really and get rotisserie chicken from a grocery store from the deli section. But in particular, I'm really impressed with this chicken from Walmart. Just look at how tender that is. No teeth. And it just slips right off the bone. And all it's left is that wee little sliver of bone. And that's something, whenever you eat rotisserie chicken like that, this also, you have to be careful for the bones that are left in behind too. But yeah, these are good eating. Very good flavor. As I said earlier, this one's a little bit bland. But the others that I usually get there, are very good flavored. Or well flavored. Get my grammar correct. And there's a piece of tendon or gristle that you don't necessarily want to eat, like the chewy fat. Other than that, this is all bone. Couple little tiny pieces of bone, and set those aside, and I'll throw those out to the cats and the dog. Now here you can see the meat, the leg again. That's what I was just eating off just now, but that was actually pieces off of another section of the chicken that had ripped off with it. That the meat is so tender that they didn't break off into your traditional pieces. Now here the skin is hanging down. Now this skin is real juicy and greasy. So that's where a lot of that grease comes from in there. But I'm not huge on skin on chicken. That's why I much prefer fried chicken. In fact, when I go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, I always get the extra crispy. I love their crispy chicken. Not just the crispy, but the extra crispy. That breading they put on it, fantastic. Now, these rotisserie chickens, of course, the way they're prepared, they're not fried, they're not battered. So all you get is that skin that actually comes on the chicken. That's part of the chicken. Whereas the breading, whenever you have it fried, it's got the breading on the outside that's actually made of bread and breadcrumbs and whatever else ingredients you put in that. But this is all chicken, and so not my favorite chicken to eat. Like I said, I prefer fried chicken, but this is really good chicken. Mm. See how it just falls off? Don't need a knife. Don't need a fork. Got this plastic fork, but I haven't used it since I did that initial cut to tear some off to show you on the edge of the fork. Even breaking all these pieces apart. In fact, cutting it in half like I did earlier, probably could have done that without the butcher knife. But, do it that way just to make sure it's a clean cut. And you cut it evenly so that you've got two even pieces. That's why you use the knife. This is so tender, you could probably done it with a plastic knife. mm. 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 Tell you what, I'm getting full already. I haven't eaten half of this. Basically a quarter of rotisserie chicken. Sit down and eat, and I'm getting full. So if you get one of these rotisserie chickens, be prepared to be hungry and eat a lot. Otherwise, you're going to have leftovers. And that really is the heart of what I'm getting at here, why this is such a good meal. In addition to how soft and tender this meat is, easy to eat, easy to prepare. In fact, it's already prepared just like you would fast food. Like fast food, you go through the drive-through. Now this, the only difference is it's meant to be served hot. And when you first open it up, yeah, there's going to be that juice in the bottom of the bag, the container. And so it's going to be a little bit messy if you were to just take it out to your vehicle and try to eat it right there. And it would be cold and not appealing flavor-wise. So, or even, the texture would still be good. It'd be soft, but but again, flavor-wise, it's going to be messy and stuff. So you wouldn't want to eat it on the go. But it is fast. You just buy it from the grocery store, take it home, pop in the microwave for a couple minutes, and it's ready to serve. You can cut it into pieces and eat part of it now and save the rest for later. And then here's what I've got left so far out of that half. I don't want to tip it too far because there's juice in there and I don't want to spill it out. But yeah, probably a quarter of a rotisserie chicken still left here. I'm going to go ahead and eat a little bit more. Very soft, very tender. Just fall right off the bone. Amazing. But that convenience that you get from fast food, you almost get with this. Other than the fact that fast food, you can eat it just as soon as they hand it to you. All you gotta do is take it out of the wrapper. This, you do have to take it home and warm it up. But that only takes a couple minutes. Here, look at that. That, it's not gristle or tendon. It's like the end of like a bone. What do they call that? It's not the marrow. Marrow's on the inside of the bone. I'm trying to think of the word, what they call that. Where the bones come together and they have the joint. That little rubbery type substance. Comment down below if you can think of the word. I know what it is, but I can't think of it right off. But anyway, that convenience of fast food you almost have with this sort of thing. Other than having to warm it up. And the price. The price is comparable to ordinary fast food before inflation hit. Prices 5 years ago for fast food. The regular price, not the sale price, but the regular price is on par with gas or with fast food prices back then. In fact, better. regular price around $5. Where can you find enough fast food in one meal to fill you up as much as an entire rotisserie chicken for $5? It doesn't exist. There's no fast food place on the planet where you can get food that cheap, volume-wise. Now, when you factor in the sale price, $3.50 approximately, something like that, $3.70 maybe, it's impossible to beat. There is nowhere you can get one meal, let alone three or four meals. Here I am sitting here, a big guy, and you've seen how much I can eat in one sitting. Here I've eaten only about a quarter of this chicken, and I'm getting full. So that's 4 meals, approximately, maybe 3, all for under $4. Now that's amazing in today's economy, where you can't get a fast food meal for less than $15, and most of them are pushing $20. I don't know what else to tell you guys. This is like the deal of the century. It's like playing the lottery without actually buying the tickets. I mean, thank you, Walmart. Think what you want about these big corporations, like Walmart and other companies like it. But when they offer you deals like this and good quality meat, good quality chicken, like I showed you, just falls right off the bone. Look at that, scoops right off. Just that wee little bone left. And again, no teeth. Just sucking it right off the bone. Now, I know a lot of you, probably most of you, have had chicken before. How many of you have ever had chicken that soft and tender to where you break off a piece, you get a piece served to you, and you can eat that entire piece of chicken. In fact, you can eat the entire chicken without using your teeth at all. Just gum it all off the bone and have the bones coming out so smoothly. How many of you ever have been able to do that? It's very rare. Usually you have to bite into and chew your chicken. Amazing. Excellent. Soft and tender. And the flavor, this one right here, look at how that just tore right off. Right off the bone. Just like, when you get a really, really good steak. A lot of times you get like a T-bone steak, and you have to use like the T-bone's a good example because it's got that distinct T-shaped bone in it that you can tell where it starts and ends and everything. You take your steak knife and you're trying to cut it off and hold the fork on the other side. Usually you need a heavier, more durable, easier to cut steak knife. You'd never be able to do that with a table knife. Chicken's like that in a lot of sense as well. Look, that bone just pulled right out. Every single one. Pulled right off. Couldn't even lift up the meat to show it to you because it just ripped right off the bone as I went to pick it up. I didn't touch this beforehand. I'm just taking my fork, plastic fork, try to pick up a piece, and all I get is the bones because the meat just rips right off of it. And all for under $4. And you got leftover meat for the pets. Or not meat, but the bones. A lot of times you throw out your leftovers, your bones off of your steak or your chicken or whatever. And they're getting a lot of meat on there. And that's a nice treat for them. They'll fight over the pieces with the meat on them. And the bones, they can take it or leave it. But with this chicken, there's not a lot of meat that's going to be going out with them. They may be a little bit disappointed that it's all bones because it's just ripped right off and I'm getting to eat all of it. But anyway, I'm just going to take a few more bites here. See, that's all meat. It rips right off. Can't go wrong with this. So, if you're on a budget, especially now with inflation the way it is, food prices the way they are, you're wanting something simple and fast, maybe give this a try. Go to your local Walmart, to the deli section, see if they've got any of these rotisserie chickens. And this one maybe has been sitting there for an entire day. Nobody's bought it yet, so they mark it down a little bit. It's still perfectly good, still fresh, but after a certain period of time, they mark it down, like from the regular $5 and something to $3 and something, almost half price they take off, just to hurry it out the door before it goes bad. So if you're looking for something to eat quickly, and you don't mind taking it home and warming it up first before you eat it, check us out. Go to your local Walmart or other grocery store. Doesn't have to be Walmart. I'm just really impressed with this particular chicken that I've been getting from Walmart, of how soft and tender it is. And like I said, this one's a little bit bland, but it's still good. And the ones that I got before in the past few weeks, they've all been really good with flavor. So I don't know what happened with this one. Maybe they just seasoned the other two or three a little bit better. But can't beat the price. Can't beat the quality of meat. I mean, even the more expensive places where you get chicken, like you go to one of these fancy chicken places where they bake it and serve it to you right there. I've never gotten this quality of and soft and tender of chicken at any place. Ever, I don't think. Not that I can remember. I mean, I can't say it enough. I am just so shocked at how that, and it's been consistent with all these chickens I've been buying from Walmart last couple weeks. So, check it out. You can't beat it. I went to pick up a bone, had meat on it, but meat all slipped right off. And I'll try to get it on my fork. All this meat in this. It's hard to pick up because it's just tearing apart, falling apart. All that was on that piece. Just fell right off the bone. Yeah, pretty much look at all that that's left. So right here basically is a quarter of a chicken. In the bag in the refrigerator is another half of a chicken. So that's 3/4 of a chicken still left over after eating this meal. And here I'll show you. Can you see them? There's the bones. Pile of bones that goes to the pets. So anyway, yeah, definitely. You can't go wrong with a meal like this. I highly recommend it. So, final verdict on today's chicken that we had. On today's, I would give it a 6 because it was a little bit dry. But in general, comparing it with the chicken that I've had, the other chickens I've had in this past couple weeks, I would say in general, I would give this Walmart rotisserie chicken an 8. As far as affordability, I mean, that's a huge part of it. The affordability, the extremely low price, how soft and tender the meat is all around, consistently with all the rotisserie chickens I've gotten from there, they are all so soft and tender. And then finally with the taste. The taste is what lost points on today's, why I would only give it a 6. But considering that the vast majority of the ones I've gotten before were a lot better seasoned, in general, I would give it a total of an 8 instead of just a 6. So anyway, I hope that helped you guys. Anyway, that's going to be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, comment down below. Where have you found some good rotisserie chicken? Describe it to me. Is it soft and tender like this? Easily falls off the bone? Is it really good flavor? And if so, what was the price, range? Might not remember exactly, but you can estimate probably about approximately how much it was. And then our readers and viewers can compare and contrast and check them out for themselves. So have that conversation down in the comments and help each other out with their fast food recommendations, and in today's case, rotisserie chicken recommendations, where you can get some good chicken. And then make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when we do go live. As I said, today's episode is pre-recorded, but usually we go live on Sunday afternoons at 2 o'clock p.m. and sometimes an hour or two earlier, depending on what else I have going on throughout the day. But if you are subscribed to the channel, YouTube will send you a notification right before we go live. So if you happen to be online at the same time, you'll get that notification and be able to join us if you wanted to. So definitely, subscribing helps with the algorithm. Hitting that like button, sharing this with your friends, it all helps with the algorithm. And if you want to go beyond that, you don't have to. That is fantastic. If you guys just do that, subscribe and like, that just makes me very, very happy. But if you want to go even beyond that, there is a link in the description to a PayPal account. And if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can donate to the channel. And, with the funds that we receive in donations, we'll invest in a little bit better equipment so that my camera is not always falling off the tripod, that it's not overheating like it does so often on Sunday afternoon live streams, and it causes the stream to stop broadcasting. And then I have to drive for a few miles with my camera held out the window to cool it down, and then pull over at the first location I can come to where I can safely park, and restart the live stream over again. I want to invest in some equipment that is a little bit better quality and isn't going to constantly be doing that to ruin our experience when we do our live streams. But if you want to, you can contribute to that through that PayPal link. But don't fall for the scam that a lot of people do. A lot of times when these channels start to get bigger, people will start to comment in there with fake profile names that are very similar to the name of that channel, trying to make you think that that's them. And they say, "You've won a prize. Check me out on such and such a server or website or whatever." And then when you go there, they're asking you for your credit card information and all kinds of stuff, and say, "Send us this and we'll send you a prize. You've won." Those are always scams. And just to let you know right now, I would never do that with you guys. The only way I have right now for you to donate to me is through that specific PayPal link. If somebody sends you a message saying, message me on Telegram or Discord or anything like that, that is not me. It's fake. It's a scam. It's somebody trying to con you out of your money. And so if you're giving to them, you're not giving to me. And you're not helping this channel. And somebody is taking advantage of you and also this channel. And so don't fall for that. If you're going to donate, just do it through the links that are in the description of the video that you're watching. Otherwise, it's somebody else pretending to be me. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Join us next time. Check us out through the week. We've got much other content out there. We've got the Light Side Conversations playlist. where you can find, if you go to the playlist tab, look down through there, you'll find the Light Side TLS Conversations tab. And in that playlist, we've got these episodes where I interview different people from different backgrounds, and hopefully you'll find something on there that you enjoy to hear what they have to say about what they do. And then we've got our flagship show, which is Reaction Reviews, where I react to different TV shows, movies, and trailers and things of that nature that have to do with television and movies. And we've been doing that for going on 6 years or so now, on and off. And so there's quite a bit of content on there. And then we've got the Light Side Music Reactions, which we just started up a couple weeks ago. And that's really been getting a lot of feedback on that. A lot of people watching those videos. And so if you want to see me react to some different songs, you can check out that playlist. And as with any of these playlists, if you comment on those and give me suggestions as to what you'd like to see me react to, I will take all those into consideration. And if I do react to your suggestion, I will give you a shout out on that reaction. So anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. Check out our other stuff, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week, and God bless. And bye, everybody.